I think you can see the board here. In WBJEE statistics, what we need to remember, that I'll explain one by one. In WBJEE syllabus, mean, median, mode, standard deviation, all these you have to study. Whatever there in board exam in class 11, it is included here. So for ungrouped distribution, if values of variables are x1, x2, xn, mean, you know, it will be sigma xi by n. I is from 1 to n. Median, how to find? Median will be, data should be, all these observations should be arranged in ascending or descending order. Arrange given data set in ascending or descending order. Then median is given by n plus 1 by 2th observation if n is odd, and average of n by 2th observation or item plus n by 2 plus 1/8 observation. Their average is median. Okay? Mean and median are done. This is for ungrouped distribution. Standard deviation. To learn standard deviation, we need variance. Variance is what? The mean, normally we use the symbol x bar for it. For median, we use m. Standard deviation, we use sigma. So variance is sigma square xi minus x bar whole square by n. This is called variance. Okay? Here, variance is sigma square or sigma xi minus x bar whole square, that divided by n. This is called variance. So standard deviation will be what? Standard deviation is under root xi minus x bar whole square by n. This you can write as sigma xi square by n, xi by n whole square. Okay? And here it will be what? I equal to 1 to n, I equal to 1 to n. Now, out of all these formula I have given so far, these are only for discrete set of distribution. This mean, I have to say something about mean. In question, they ask a question like this: if each observation is increased by, let us know it with discrete, same thing is applied for grouped frequency distribution also. So some properties we are going to learn. What are those properties? That if each observation properties for mean, you can say some important observation. If each observation is increased by k plus minus k, you can increase or decrease, then mean is also increased or decreased by k. So if this observation x1, x2, xn if mean of this be x bar, then mean of x1 plus k, x2 plus k is x bar plus k. If minus sign is there, it will be minus. Number 2, if each observation is multiplied by k, then mean is also multiplied, maybe divided also by the same factor, multiplied or divided. Okay? So if mean of x1, x2, xn be x bar, then mean of x1 into k is k into x bar. Mean of x3 by k is x bar by k. It's like this. What about the variance or standard deviation? Variance, for variance, if observations x1, x2, xn, if k is added, then for variance and SD, if each observation is added or subtracted by the same scalar, there will be no change in variance or SG. Please keep this in your mind. Mean is changed, but variance and standard deviation, because in this formula, when you are adding and then write xi minus x bar whole square by n for var x. See, xi increased by k, x bar also increased by k in case of mean. So they get added. And square root of this is standard deviation. So there is no change in standard deviation also if added or subtracted. What will happen if something is multiplied? Okay, this is number one. But if each observation is multiplied by the same scalar k, then variance becomes t square times of previous value and SD standard deviation becomes k times of the previous value. Okay. Each observation multiplied by k, variance becomes k square time of previous value. Standard deviation becomes k times of the previous value. Clear? Because standard deviation will be square root, it is increased by k. Multiplied by k means k xi bar minus k x bar whole square. So it is going to be k square. But when you take the square root, then it will be k only. So variance by k square times and SD k times. Then suppose we have set of observations like this: x1, x2, xn. Their mean be equal to x bar. Then x1 plus k, and mean be x bar, SD is sigma, variance sigma square. Then x1 plus k, x2 plus k, this way xn plus k, mean remains the same, SD remains the same, and variance also remains the same. Okay, remain unchanged. But if we have the observation like, say, ax1 plus k, ax2 plus k, axn plus k. Then main will be what? You are multiplied by a. So main will be ax bar. HD will be a square sigma square. Sorry. HD will be a into sigma. Variance will be a square sigma square. A square times the previous square. Got it? Hope you have understood. Another very important property of standard deviation, you should remember, for SD, the change of origin, which in fact I have told you, but if it comes in this language, the change of factor will change the SD, but change of origin will not change the value of SD. That's why I told, if x1, x2, xn, there is the sigma, by addition or subtraction something, it won't change. But this one will have a change. Another important thing which you need to remember for any competitive exam where statistics is there, what is the standard deviation for this set of observations? We are going to prove that SD of first n natural number will be sigma n square minus 1 by 12. How to? That mean you know, x bar equal to 1, 2, 3 up to n by n into n plus 1 by 2n, n plus 1 by 2. Now, this will not be sigma n square, I'm sorry, only n square. Now, x bar you got. So, standard deviation formula is what? Under root 1 square, 2 square up to n square by n minus this thing square, x bar square you know. This sum is what? Sum of the squares of first n natural number, n plus 1 to n plus 1 by 6 minus n plus 1 by 2 whole square. So n getting cancelled, n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 by 6 n plus 1 whole square by 4. Take n plus 1 by 12 common. So it will be 2 into 2n plus 1 minus 3 into n plus 1. This will be changed to n plus 1 n minus 1 by 12. So standard deviation will be equal to under root. This only I told you. So if they have asked you standard deviation of first n natural numbers, this is going to be under root 10 square minus 1 by 12 root 99 by 12 under root 33 by 4. Something like this, 8.125, like this. Then find the square root. Hope you remember how to find the square root. Then what I am going to tell you, I am going to remind you all the formula for frequency distribution, which you have studied for on group distribution, what it is going to be for grouped frequency distribution. Okay? For a grouped frequency distribution, just yeah, formula I have given here. Just writing side by side. For a grouped frequency distribution, suppose x1, this observation occurs f1 times, x2 occurs f2 times, xn occurs fn times. Then mean will be what? I equal to 1 to n fi xi by sigma fi. Okay? Mean equal to this thing. Median will be what? I just remind you, for median, you have to find cumulative frequency. Remember it. Make the table this way. x1, f1 the frequency. Then you write CUF, cumulative frequency. Isn't it? Then you find the median class. Median class is what? How do you find median class? Total frequency that divided by 2. This observation light in which interval this you will find. You should make the interval continuous first while finding median. Then median aim will be what? Median aim will be what? Lower limit of median class. N by 2 minus f by fm into 8. Remember it? Fm is the frequency of the median class. Capital F stands for cumulative frequency of the class just before the frequency median class. N total number of observation. 8 is the size of the interval. So what are the steps for median? You should remember. Draw cumulative frequency table. Find the lower limit of the median class. Median class you have to find. Then apply this formula. Okay? And for standard deviation, the formula going to be for variance, just multiply by xi by fi. Okay? Sigma fi xi square, sigma fi xi by n whole square. I changing from 1 to n. Okay? This is for variance. Standard deviation will be what? Under root sigma fi xi square by n alright. Clear? Now suppose anyone makes a substitution. Let ui equal to xi minus a. So what you are doing there? You are changing the origin. If ui is xi minus a, then sdx will have the same value as that of sdu. It means if you reduce data, then formula will remain the same. Fi ui square by n fi by n whole square. Okay, so by changing origin, standard deviation will not change. But if now let ti equal to uy by h. H is the length of the interval. Then SDX will be what? Remember all these things. You have done once in class 11. I just remind you. SDT into H. Because you have divided, you have to multiply. This follows from property. Change of origin does not change the. But divide, then SD you have to multiply. So this is going to be what? Sigma fi ti square by n, sigma fi ti by n whole square into 8. So before WBJEE, I will tell you to practice one sum or three different types of sums from mean and 2-3 different types of standard deviation. And hope you will do the best in WBJEE examination.